Okay, now we're ready to have a little bit of fun. So now we're going to start to make things really work. We're going to do the deck plating. And the first one we're going to do, let's see, they're going to have us do this section. So is that this? Yes, that would be this. So we're going to put these aside for now, as well as this one. We got the P on the side that we're going to be doing the planking on. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark this section. So we're going to get the ruler, and from the end, again, we're going to do the 6.5 or 65 millimeters. But then we're going to make a mark at the halfway point as well. So let's. That would be right there, and halfway would be 3 1/4. So that would be right there. So we're going to go again, and we're going to mark 6.5. And we're going to mark 3 1/4. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to square it, and we're going to make a line. So we've got 4 sections now. We're going to take some glue, and we're going to start to run the strip. So I'm just going to leave the ruler here. What we're going to do is every one that I come across that we're going to use, I just want to make absolutely sure it's going to be 6.5. So this is going to go, we're going to put this one right up against the second line. So we're going to take a little bit of the glue, and we're going to take the strip, and this is going to go right up against the second line, and I want to make sure it's even with the bottom. So let me wipe away the extra glue. So we're going to bring it down, and I want to make sure that it's level, because this is going to go up against the other plate. So that looks pretty good. So now we're going to do the same for the next section, and now that I have a little bit of an idea of how thick it is, it should be a little bit easier. So again, we'll bring it down, make sure it's 6.5. And this is going to go right into the next slot. So this is kind of like the starter strip. And I want to make sure that it's level. See, just like that. And we got our first planks down. So if you notice, the next one, see, because we're going to have to cut, because they're all going to interlock. So what we got to do is we can put one aside, and we'll do this on the next row. Might as well do it now. All right, so we'll just take one. Put a little bit of glue. And what I'm going to do is we're actually going to snip it. And what we'll do is we'll use this specifically for the end. So I'll make sure we're going to use the straight side. And this is going to go just like this. And I want to make sure they're abutting. And we do the same thing. We're going to make sure that it's completely flush with the others, because this is going to abut to the next plate. All right, so see how that looks now? We went on the lines at the 6.5 mark. So now we're going to go the halfway mark. So we're going to take the glue, and what we're going to do now is we're going to actually put it into this section. It's going to go just like this, and we're going to go right up to that line. So now we're going to go and we're going to do the next one. Just like that. Oh man, how cool is it already? We just started, and look how cool that's starting to look. Awesome. I know my videos, that there's so much involved in doing these models, guys. It might not be the most exciting thing, but the prep is absolutely necessary. But the prep, in the long run, lets us get to the fun stuff like this. So this is going to come down. So what's going to happen is we're going to start to have a pattern develop every other one. And it would be just like the nailing of the planks down onto the bulkheads of the ship. So now we're ready to put the next one, and that's going to be all the way down. See how we have that first 3 rows now? And what we're going to do now is we're going to follow the pattern, and we're going to go all the way down. There, check that out, man. How cool does that look? To just kind of push everything down in a uniform kind of manner. So what I want to do now is see how we're going to have to go and cut everything. But we're going to wait until it's totally dry. So we're going to put this one aside now. Get the color. We're going to let that dry. And we're going to do the other side now. Now it'll be this side. So we're going to do the same thing because they're actually going to go like this. And halfway would be 3 1/4. So that'll be right here. And we're going to do another 6 1/2. And that would be right here, and 3 1/4. That, and we're going to have to make sure that it's going to line up with the edge. Because remember, this is going to abut right up to the other deck plate. Alright, so now we can put another one on. Again, we got to make sure it abuts so it goes into position on the other side. So now we need to put that little section on the end. And then, like the others, it's got to line up with the edge. Let me just give it a snip. There. So we got the starter strip on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come in and we're going to do this section. Here we are. So check that out. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the ruler and kind of flatten them all. So now, when we put the pieces together, how is this going to go? Alright, this is going to go like this. So the pieces have to abut to each other, just like that. And hopefully you can see that they are going to line up. And I want to make sure that it's going to be flush. And again, with the starter strips, I'm going to make sure that they're all even. Okay, so now we can start off shooting them. So we'll do the next one inside. Okay, so we got this section done now. You can see what we're going to have to cut on the outside. It did have to overlap a little bit on this side. I decided that better be safe than sorry, so I overlapped it just in case this is the side that's actually showing. So I figured we'd just do it that way. So okay, this section of the deck is all set. And again, we got to wait for this to dry before we can cut it out. So let's put this section over here, and I want to put this over here so this can dry now. Then we're going to do 3 1/4. Alright, so we got the starter strip down. There. Alright, so we got this section done. And talk about just making it. This is what I got left of the planks. I got a half of one. So this is going to go on the other half of this. So this is what I got left. And once that's done, we can start marking everything up. But what I got to do now is I actually have to make some more planks. And